What's up, everybody? In this video, I'm going to be showing you how I handle client communications using these different automations that you're seeing over here. And so this is an example of weekly report. And so it's got a description that we wrote up. So this client in particular, I was just sending them an email letting them know like, hey, we've just got the first lead. And so this is what the email looked like. We've generated one leads. And on a bi-weekly basis, they get an email like this, updating them like how good we're performing. And this is the email. This is another email that I sent literally today. I've taken it out of Gmail as I do want to blur some information of the client, but it was like, hey, just wanted to send over a quick message to let you know that we are live. When a positive reply comes through, just do all of these things, right? And I sent them a video, and this video basically just shows them like the campaign that we're running. And so this campaign in particular is just like a creative campaign, and as you can see, like, we go over the whole process, right? And so I've got the timestamps. I'm showing them my clay tables, like how is all of this stuff working in the background. Um and yeah, basically just showing the full process. And so how do we automate all of this, and why is it even important? Number one, the reason why I create so many videos is because it reduces the number of meetings that you need to take. So instead of having a weekly 30-minute call on the calendar with the client, I can create maybe 5 to 10 minutes worth of videos for the client and save myself the hassle. And it also does show like improve the client experience. And so what we've got here is a client database. And so when we navigate over to one of these clients, for example, I've filtered out most of my clients. We've got different statuses. And so these different statuses are going to have different things happening. And so the email that you've just seen over here, so actually, you can't even see the subject line, but the subject line is like, we are live. That's what the subject line is. And so that happens when a status moves from one of these to the active status, right? And so we want to basically let them know like, hey, like, we are live, we've got the email campaigns created, we've got the subsequences, we've got all of these things done, and we basically just want to show off within that video. um Another time that we send a video is with weekly reports. That comes through, like, it's got an automation that runs that. Maybe I can even show you that. I will open up my Make account and I'll come back to that later on in the video. And so we've got the client automation. And so what happens is that we've got all of these SOP automations going on. This is the SOP that I'm referring to. So when a status is moved to active, we call a webhook, and this webhook, we also assign a comment to ourselves, right? So like, this is a working system, task system, but it operationalizes things that would otherwise take brain bandwidth. And so what we do is we send the information to this webhook. This webhook simply gets the task so that we can organize all of the custom fields. Once all of that has been done, we send all of that information to the next step, right? And the next step is basically a task that's called company name, move to active status, record a video, and send them an email. And so this is the same process, right, for for weekly reports and any other types of communication that happens where we need to communicate with the client. It's the same type of thing. And by the way, you don't need to record videos. Like, the videos is just like a thing that I like to do, but you don't need to do that. And so we draft up an email, right? And so we draft up an email um, pertaining to the specific thing. So for example, let us say that we've got a client in the active status, and then they get an invoice that is overdue. That is going to we have Stripe automation, so Stripe automates a lot of the things already, but there's going to be a point where we need to actually step in and do something about that. And that is when the status moves to invoices overdue, which creates a task in the client comms for us. And so that task is going to have a different email draft. And so the email might look like, hey, notice that the invoice hasn't been paid in XYZ days. We take those fields like XYZ days, we take those fields from Stripe and put them in this email draft. So obviously I'm just starting out with this process, so I don't have all of that stuff done, but you get the point. When a client is deactivated, paused, anything, we get tasks for that as well. So what are these tasks that we are creating, right? They're linked to a client. We've also got the email recipients, and by the way, the email recipients come from the client right? So we've got those email recipients right here. And so all it is super simple, right? So it comes here, we've got a subject line that's already there, so we are live, and then the email draft is already here. And in fact, I should actually add a comment, because some of these are not going to have a requirement for a video. Some of these are going to be like basically done. So I'll do that live. So create a template for an email. We will find the ClickUp module and we will do a comment. So assign comment. So post a task comment. So that's the one. And we link it back to the task ID. So the task where we just created the template. And by the way, if you have VAs or account managers or anybody who manages client communications besides yourself, this is why I build these things, right? So that it's dynamic and can easily scale, if I decide to build my team and when I do that, right? So you can assign it to the user ID. Actually, in fact, I think it's already assigned to someone. Yeah, so I just do that. And then the comment is just record a Loom video, right? So record a Loom video. Um, and yeah, notify us. So that would give us a task to record a video. We would record a video and we've already created a video, for example, right? And so we simply need to navigate over to share, get the embed, copy the GIF thumbnail, and then paste that in this section over here. Um, I'm also working on a few things like hyperlinks. Um, so just making sure like things are getting hyperlinked. Um, but that's easy to do, right? So we've got that. The next thing we need to do is simply send a test email. So once we've got that assign comment done, we would check it off and we would move it over to this. And so this is what an actual assign comment looks like. So a test email was sent to you. If it looks good, proceed to the next status. If it needs adjustment, move it to the previous status, then move it to this status again. And so this is like an SOP of what we need to do. Let me pull up my email and show you what the email looks like. Okay, well, that didn't work, and that is why we send a test email. Obviously, I've just built this. I've not even tested it, right? I just wanted to film a video. And so as you can see, like we've got an email. It doesn't even have the image. It doesn't have anything, right? So this does not work, and this was the previous version. Okay, so after a few iterations, I figured out how I'm gonna go about doing this. Obviously, as you can see, like it's still not perfect. I need to optimize it a little bit more as it's making some mistakes, but I think this is good for now. So what I implemented was ChatGPT, and what ChatGPT does, I've given it this prompt over here, which is analyze the content of this message and convert it to HTML format. And I've noted that this is in Markdown format, and this is going to come in handy in a second when I explain it. And then I say that if there's a Loom URL, simply use this code and replace the Loom URL with the correct one. And this is the Loom URL, by the way. This is how we do it. So we copy the thumbnail code, not the embed code. And so to talk about the markdown format and what that means, I've deleted that Loom field. We don't need that anymore. So all you need to do is simply paste the Loom link. So it doesn't matter if it's a long link like this, or you can remove this SID section. You simply need to paste a Loom link wherever you want. And to create a hyperlink, you create it like this. To create bold, you use the stars like this. And obviously, all of these things would be in the assigned comments. And so we would put all of this information here, and then using this information, we would then be able to draft up an email that we can send to a client. And so we send the email, and as a test, we can obviously see some mistakes. And these mistakes are happening because of the automation. But when all of this is working well, the reasons it's not going to work is usually going to be because of maybe how you wrote it. Like maybe you used the markdown format incorrectly or something like that. And actually, you know what? Because I am using ChatGPT, I can probably have an extra step in the prompt that says like fix any issues with the markdown format. Anyways, that is everything. After that, we simply send it to the client. If this looks good to us, we click send to client. And when we click send email to client, this is basically going to take that that email and then send it to the correct client with the recipients. And you simply need to use a Gmail module, and in the recipients section, you can use the custom field. In my case, it's called email recipients. And like that, we're able to direct it to the correct client with whatever we want to talk to them about. And so that is the video. Hope this was helpful. If you want to streamline your communication across all clients, and you want to know when to reach out, how to reach out, what to reach out about, what to include in your emails. This is a super, super awesome process. By the way, this is what my ClickUp setup looks like. So we've got clients, client comms, domains, campaigns, all of these things work together. And this is just the latest addition to my workflow. And I'm going to be working on this over the next few days and weeks and months. Awesome. Hope you're having a wonderful day, and I hope you keep having a wonderful day. Cheers.